Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Why is Mahashivaratri considered most powerful night? People stay up the entire night.
There are certain times of the year, energies are at their highest vibrations. The electric and the magnetic fields are more oscillating. These are very, very powerful days. Or when we want to get connected deeply with Shiva, on the day of Mahashivaratri, they do 21 times, keeping your back straight, eyes closed.
These nights going to help you accelerate also your spiritual growth.
Where science ends, spirituality begins.
Your trip to Mount Kailash must be one of the most life-changing trips.
It is the life-changing moment for me. कैलाश के ऊपर महादेव होते हैं, ऐसे मैंने सुना था. But once I went there, I realized कैलाश ही महादेव. These things that happened there were completely unexpected, beyond supernatural. Entities from other realms, they take dips in the Manasarovar.
आपकी जो book है, Aghori, which has been the national bestseller.
Don't judge the book by its cover. का सबसे बड़ा उदाहरण है अघोरी साहब. They are untamed. They can cause fear in people because they have dark red eyes. Deep inside the jungles of Junagadh, there are tribes of Aghori Sadhus also live there. They've also known to do shape-shifting. Om Trembakai Yachamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyah Namritaat.
Hey you, welcome on RAWR with Sneha. I am your host Sneha Desai, and every episode of RAWR is a reminder that you're meant for more. You're meant for expansion and you're not here to just settle down for less. Before I tell you about today's episode, we have observed that 95% of you are watching our episodes but haven't subscribed to our channel. It is my humble request to go hit that subscribe button because that helps us build a better community and get the best of guests on this show. Welcome on RAWR with Sneha.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so excited for this podcast. When I thought about, and it's even more special because it's Mahashivaratri.
Correct.
And the first person that popped up in my head was you when I think about Shiv.
May I know why?
Because your story, your journey about Mount Kailash, you have been there and your experiences is what makes me feel that you've experienced it very closely.
True.
So
I am convinced about that. That's the reason you invited me, and I'm very happy to be here, especially on the as we get closer to the Mahashivaratri day, which is not very far away.
Yeah.
So, thank you for inviting me to your podcast, and I wish you the best. And I want to say to all the viewers, a very happy Mahashivaratri in advance. Having said that, every day is a day to remember Mahadev. So Mahashivaratri could be every Ratra, you know. So thank you for having me.
Yes. So because we are going to be talking first about Mahashivaratri.
Yep.
So we know, like a lot of people, all of us know that Mahashivaratri people fast. They go to the temples. They pay their, offerings to Mahadev. But what is it beyond these rituals and prayers that is so special about this night?
That's very well put. If you allow me, I would like to put in front of you not just my verbal response. I would like to present to you that which symbolizes the energy of Mahadev. And therefore, I have brought with me for all your viewers and for you a damru.
Yes.
This is so. There's a small little backstory to this. We were at one of the temples on our way to Kailash Mansarovar. This was when we were in Kathmandu. And in the precincts of the temple, I heard this. And it went on for some time. I just showed this to you to give you a glimpse, but it in a flash took me to the abode of Mahadev, literally. How do we celebrate Mahashivaratri? How do we feel the Mahadev, the energy? I would say that if you were to desire to go up to the fourth floor of your building, of your apartment, you can't just expect someone or something to happen to you that you start floating up. You need to climb
Yeah.
either steps or you need to climb a ladder. These steps and ladders really are it's a metaphor for rituals. On the day of Mahashivaratri, why I feel extremely close is not only because along with my guru Swami Sadyojata Shankarashram, I went to Kailash Mansarovar, not only because of that, but even much before that. So I went to Kailash in 2001. Uske pehle, before that, on every Mahashivratri, I would go to the place where Swamiji, I address my guru as Swamiji, I would perform the puja with the rituals that are part of the puja.
Okay.
So, for example, usme na Swamiji would sit in front of the idol of Mahadev, the Vigraha, and perform. And we would sit in the audience, but we would also perform, as in we would chant as a follow up to what Swamiji would chant. So, Swamiji would perform these pujas. Typically, there are 4 yams, 4 pujas in one night. And there are certain changes. For example, we take the Ashtottar Namavali hota hai. We take the names of Mahadev, different names of Mahadev. I'm going a little deep into this so that then I will connect it to how we can go. We connect the rituals to the spirituals. Okay. So these rituals, for example, in those the archanas that we would do, Arpan, Bilva Archana, the बेल पत्री हम उसको बेल अर्पित करते हैं, कुमकुमार्चना होता है. Every time Swamiji would say the name, utter the name or proclaim the name of Mahadev, any of those names, we would follow up. Om Shivaya Namaha. So the whole audience, including me, would say Om Shivaya Namaha. Om Mahadevaya Namaha. We would again repeat. It got us completely connected and involved with the process, which intensified our spiritual fervor.
Okay.
So spirituality is required. As long as we don't mistake that to be the end, it is only a medium. Like I said earlier, if you want to go to the 4th floor of a building, you can't just expect somebody to catapult you up there. You have to climb. There's an effort required. So similarly, when we have to, or when we want to merge with Mahadev, when we want to get connected deeply with Shiva, that energy, we have to make those efforts of practicing certain techniques which people would call rituals, because they are the steps of that ladder that take you closer to Mahadev. For example, Shlokas. So after every yam, Swamiji would chant a shloka. Okay. One of them changed my life completely because of the way the chanting impacted my cells, my mind, my soul. I'll give you a glimpse of that. So Swamiji chants one after the first yams. Swamiji chants the Darida Dhana Shiva Stotra. उसका मतलब भी बहुत पॉजिटिव है. दारिद्र्य, दुख. Daridra is poverty.
Poverty, yeah.
But here it's poverty not in terms of the material poverty, materialistic poverty. The poverty is about poverty of the mind, the lack of good thoughts, that kind of poverty. When a person is poor in those areas, dukkha, sorrow. Dahana means the destruction of the poverty and the sorrow. Daridra dukkha dahana. Shiva Stotra. So it's a prayer to Shiva. So how it impacted me was, though I did not know at that point of time. I'm talking about 1998, 99. Okay, that those years. Just imagine you're seated in the temple. Swamiji is right in front, performing the puja. As part of the puja, Swamiji starts, and we repeat, Om Vishveshwaraya Vishakantha Vibhushanaya. Then we go, Vishveshwaraya Vishakantha Vibhushanaya Karnamrutaya Shashishekhara Dharanaya Karpurakanti Dhavalaya Jatadharaya Daridrya Dukkha Dahanaya Namah Shivaya Daridrya Dukkha Dahanaya Namah Shivaya Daridrya Dukkha Dahanaya Namah Shivaya. That's the first verse. There are like 13 or 14 verses. So these are all part of the steps, Sneha, to reach the ultimate destination of what people want is to merge with the consciousness of Shiva. So rituals are required, but how do we and what do we practice? So to all the people who are watching, there could be somebody who's a student. There could be somebody who's working 10 hours a day, or a business person, and they may not have the time. But at least now that the Mahashivaratri is coming, make a beginning. To you also, I say that, to everybody. These are very, very powerful days. So what do you do, Mayur? What can I do, Mayur? What do I actually, what ritual do I practice? It's not that you have to perform a puja, but you can do the chanting of a Shiva Stotra or a Shiva Shloka.
Okay.
Of course, it can't come easy. So first thing is start listening. Start listening to shlokas being chanted. That will get you spiritually excited to know more. And learn one shloka. Not the whole thing, maybe you can learn it later. But for Mahashivaratri, even chanting the Mahamrityunjay mantra, which can be chanted outside, you can awaken those vibrations and feel closer to Mahadev. For example, Om Trembakai Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiya Mamritaat. Say it 3 times, say it 11 times at least. That's one example I'm saying, Sneha. That is how you can beautifully connect ritualistic aspects to your spiritualistic pursuits.
So when you were reciting these shlokas here also, I could sense a shift in vibration. So immediately you feel like something has changed within, even if that one recitation, it kind of brings a shift in vibration.
The people are watching this podcast and who want to know what they can do on Mahashivaratri, I would say that start creating positive vibrations. First, by chanting. Even Om Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Aishwaryam Arogyam Dhanasam Pada Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepam Jyoti Namostute. One thing I want to say to you and to all our viewers, our friends who are watching is, it's not only what you say. Mayur, I finished chanting not 20 chapters. Good for you. But how did you? So I asked, it happened some years back. That person was very keen to convince me and to show off that he has chanted a lot. But when I asked him to just chant one, I was curious. So, for example, Ratnai kalpitamasanam imajalai after some time, I felt he should stop now because there was no energy.
Yeah.
So my point is, instead of looking at 20 things, look at one, but go deeper.
Go deeper.
As Swami Vivekananda said, education is not how much you know, it's how well you know. I've taken from their teachings that when you're chanting, it's not how many prayers you chant. It's that one prayer, but you chant it properly. Properly means what, Sneha? It's about the correct pronunciations, the right intonations, and it need not be forced energy. It shouldn't be like you're trying to do a little too much. It has to come naturally. Just saying something for the sake of it is not at all. Okay, you're saying something, God will be happy. Kuch to kar rahe ho. But if you want to connect with that energy and seek the blessings from that energy, the strength from that energy, then say it in the right way. So that's where the shift happens in the vibrations, as you very correctly said.
And go all out. Like, even if you're doing that one stotra, go all out and chant it
Go all out.
with all that dedication.
If you're yeah, exactly. If you're shy, if you're a bit reluctant, a bit fearful, कौन सुन रहा है, नहीं बाद में करता हूँ, कोई बैठा है.
हाँ.
You have to try your best not to have those distractions come in the way. Like you said, go all out.
Go all out. So, why is Mahashivratri considered to be so special? Most powerful night, they say. People stay up the entire night.
It is supposed to be the communion of Shiva Shakti.
Okay.
Like I said, every day is a day to celebrate Mahadev, but there are certain times of the year that the energies are at their highest vibrations. I was reading somewhere that the electric and the magnetic fields are more oscillating in their fields, the electromagnetic fields. So what is electromagnetic? Is electric and magnetic. They come together. So on certain days, they're supposed to be, those days are very auspicious because the energies are at their strongest. So if you tap into those energies by doing those pujas, it gives you the benefit as well. So for example, when I was doing the on Mahashivaratri days, at Kumbh Melas, it is said that you should practice if you've taken the mantra japa, do it. If you're doing one mala, do 10 malas, do more, maybe 5 malas. If you're chanting, do more chantings on such days because they have a larger and deeper impact. See, I'm not too much into the storylines of Parvati, Mahadev. I'm more into the energy part because they embody those energies. And I'm sure you and the viewers would have this question about Shiva and the Shakti. It's called Shiva Shakti. Somebody said it's like two sides of the same coin. That's why it's important that we don't get into the specificities about Aaj Devi hi karna hai. Oh, I missed out on Devi Shiva. It's the same energy with two different personalities.
I like the fact that you said that these nights are like they're going to help you accelerate also your spiritual growth. And शायद से अगर आप कोई मंत्रा जप कर रहे हो रेगुलर लाइफ में तो आप उसे ज़्यादा करो इस रात पे.
Even if you have exams, if you have an interview, in the coming few days, please start doing more of your japa, especially on Mahashivratri day. Do more. Even if somebody says, I don't know, I've never done this, start. आपके घर पे अगर छोटा सा टेम्पल है, if you have a Panchamukhi Rudraksh, which is the symbol of Mahadev, or the Vigraha, the statue or the idol of Mahadev, even a photograph Mahadev, keep it there. Put some kumkum on it. Fold your hands. Even if you say Om Namah Shivaya. Sneha, remember that Om Namah Shivaya is a mantra, and mantras have tremendous power. And these are mantras you can chant a little loudly also. They are more generalized. Only jo Guru mantra hota hai, that the Guru initiates, those are ones which we should not be revealing to anybody except ourselves. It's between the Guru and the Sadhaka or the Shishya. But as regards to, for all the people who are watching this podcast, even if on the day of Mahashivaratri, they do 21 times, keeping your back straight, eyes closed, even if you don't have a Rudraksh mala, Jap mala, just keep your hands together. Maybe you can count like this: Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om. When you're doing this, try to feel the vibrations of Om Namah Shivaya. Even while saying it, if you can feel the or visualize the image, in your mind, have the darshana of Mahadev. It will it will pull you in further, and that will have that impact on you. The way you'll perform in your exams, the way you'll perform at your work, the way you'll perform at your job interviews, wherever, it'll be heightened because it impacts positively your mind. And mind is that at the core which sets you in motion with regards to actions.
So it's not just spiritual. Even people who are looking at something materialistically,
Yes.
कुछ आप जॉब ढूंढ रहे हो, as you said, या आपको कुछ चाहिए लाइफ में, तो पैसा चाहिए, किसी को कोई अच्छा रिलेशनशिप चाहिए,
देखो, अगर
so
आपको
make the most of this night
Yes.
by doing Om Namah
Mahashivratri
Shivaya.
is an opportunity for you to accentuate and enhance करने को, आपके तीव्रता को बढ़ाने को. Your intensity will increase if you do your japa or Om Namah Shivaya or Mahamrutyunjay mantra or even chanting of a shloka or a stotram on Mahashivaratri night. उसका प्रभाव इतना होगा कि you will see a shift in your own आचरण.
Wow, beautiful. So ऐसा कोई शिव मंत्र है which is very powerful that you would ask the viewers to recite?
There are two mantras
Okay.
that I mentioned, but I'm re-emphasizing. One is the Mahamrutyunjay mantra.
Okay.
It is said that it's so powerful that it can help you to even overcome death. But I understand it a little differently. I look at it as that mantra which has got tremendous sound vibrations, which will help you because it influences your mind and therefore your actions in such a way that you will overcome death of negative things, negative attitude, negative decisions, negative communication. वो कम कर देता है. And what it fills you up therefore is with positivity. So, but say it slow and steadily. It is not a race. So some people say it too fast, Om Trambakaya Bapre. Om Trambakai Yachamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyah Mamritaat. Say it in the right way.
And if somebody doesn't know the pronunciation, can they just hear this mantra?
Listen or listening to Mahamrutyunjay mantra is also effective. But of course, when you learn it and say it, the impact is much more.
So you said that these shlokas actually destroy a lot of your negative things. Shiva himself is known as the destroyer. And
there's one more shloka. You asked me which ones, right? There's one more. See, this is a podcast that we're doing. It's of course connected to Mahashivaratri, but for those who want to take it up,
yeah,
I want to say this so that even after Shivaratri, like I said, every day is a day to celebrate Mahadev.
Mahadev, yeah.
So there is one which is the Shiva Tandav Stotra. I'm again not saying that you should learn the entire thing, but learn maybe one shloka. Take some time, learn.
And all these are going to destroy some things within you.
Negative things.
Negative things. So there's nothing to... So a lot of people fear Shiva because he destroys, but it doesn't destroy life. It destroys things that are stopping you from living your life.
Destroys things that can destroy your life.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Wow.
I'm a corporate trainer by profession. So one of the trainings, I had a person who had this habit of smoking. And he was attending a session of mine on stress management and transformation. So in the break, he came up to me and he said, Mayur, and he, at a good position, he was a senior manager. He said, Mayur, I just have one problem is I just can't think of leaving cigarettes. And वो मेरा काम भी ऐसा है, sales, marketing, I'm having a team. वो हो जाता है, I don't know what to do. What can you tell me something? And because I'm a trainer, so he asked me, I said to him that firstly, don't get desperate to have it go soon. मैं उसको इतना ही बोला कि जो हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं ओम वाइब्रेशंस every day, can you do 11 omkars after your snana, after you have your bath? And I said, you keep in touch with me. But don't expect some magic to happen within 2 3 days. But do it regularly. You won't believe, Sneha. After some 4 or 4.5 months, he sent me an email saying that cigarette smoking is out of the window. It's gone.
Wow.
And he attributed that to the chanting of the vibrations. There also we talk about the right way of saying Om, not Om. Lips have to not turn into some different shape. It's take a deep breath in. So in that session, he was able to understand. He had heard about Omkar. It was not new to him. But the right way of saying and the n number of times and the consistency of saying it every day changed him. Because we talk about destruction, his that habit which he wanted to get rid of completely went off. I'm still in touch with him.
These shlokas, mantras will help you destroy things that possibly in your conscious state you won't be able to do. So subconsciously, they help you they remove things that are not needed in your life.
And it doesn't take a lot of time, Sneha. If somebody asks me, Mayur, how many times do you brush your teeth? I said, twice. But how long? I said, I don't count, but every day I do it. I don't even think about it. It's like that. It becomes part of you. Taking a bath at home or cleansing yourself or, doing your toothbrush, you're brushing off your teeth. Chanting of vibrations, doing your japa, chanting Stotram should be part of
you. Yeah.
nothing special that you're doing. But that happens, it becomes part of you when you continue.
When you practice
that-
it, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll tell you how these vibrations have impacted me also. So when I say to all your viewers that please start from Mahashivaratri, chant something or listen to a chant, make a beginning.
There's also research that says that chanting helps on a very cellular level, and now science is also backing it up. So it's not only for your spiritual growth, it's also, I think there are cases where even longevity increases because of chanting. Talking about your trip to Mount Kailash, I think a lot of people talk about it, but very few have visited Mount Kailash. And I think it must be one of the most life-changing trips for you.
One of the most will be an understatement. It is the life-changing moment for me because except for gravity, you really don't feel like you're on Earth. The atmosphere is different. The color of the skies are different. The weather is different. And then you are in the house of Mahadev. You're there where Mahadev or the energy of Mahadev resides. That's Mount Kailash. So, and they say that one needs to be blessed to be able to go there.
Yeah. They say the place calls you.
So, it just didn't change me. It literally altered my way of thinking about life. I never knew I can write. I used to almost fail in the language of English in school. After I came back from Kailash, I started writing poems. I've written some 5 books now. I'm not again gloating about it or trying to be boastful, but I'm telling you how certain changes happened in my thinking process, in the cells and the functioning overall, that it precipitated into me painting. You see, I got this painting, for example. For me, this is what sort of is a prasad of going to Kailash Mansarovar. Or even this, I'm just showing you to tell you that I used to run away from art classes. But Kailash has done this. And you've seen me actually doing some paintings when we met up to discuss about the podcast. Writing.
It awakened something within?
Absolutely, absolutely. And most importantly, it also awakened the spirit of being fearless.
Okay.
Not stupidly fearless. I mean, you got to be in your senses.
Yeah.
You can't just jump off a building and say I'm fearless. You can't do that. But fearless in a very correct manner. At the core, it awakened my spirituality. And that percolated into things like writing, painting, flute playing.
Wow.
Yeah, my training career, which I'm celebrating 25 years or 26 years now, is a result of Kailash Mansarovar, because I felt so fearless to follow the passion of teaching. And I knew that training on leadership and management, not easy, but I knew that I can try.
Yeah.
And I tried and it worked. So it did change my life in every way.
And that leap of faith that you could take after coming back.
Yes.
To pursue what you want.
That's the courage.
Yeah,
The
courage.
The courage to take the leap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for somebody who's not been to Mount Kailash, like I haven't been there and I don't know, it's on my list. And now after I've heard about stories from you, I think I'm even more like looking forward to experiencing the Shiva Tattva that's out there. Why do you say that Mahadev resides? Like how does it feel different? Like if you have to put it in words, can you put it in words?
It's not as difficult as explaining the taste of water, which is very difficult.
Very difficult, yeah.
Or when you feel the love, especially when you see your loved one, you can't explain it in words. It's beyond LOVE. कैलाश के ऊपर महादेव होते हैं ऐसे मैंने सुना था, बट वंस आई वेंट देयर रियलाइज कैलाश ही महादेव है. महादेव इज एन एनर्जी. उनके रूप भी है ना, सगुण निर्गुण. So saguna means what you see as a form. We see Mahadev in that form, Jatadhari.
Yeah, the paintings that we see, the idols that
Correct,
we see.
correct.
Yeah.
But the real energy of Mahadev is felt, not seen. When you see a beautiful chandelier or a bulb, you will admire the beauty of the bulb. But what we need to also realize is that it is turning on because of the electricity that is there. But electricity doesn't have a form. It is seen through the way the bulb illuminates,
Yes.
or the AC works,
Yeah.
or the TV works. Through that, we know electricity is there.
Yeah. So Shiva is that electricity.
Yeah, Shiva, it electrifies you.
Okay.
That energy.
Wow.
Yes. But like we need the steps to reach the top of the building, we need the saguna, rupa, the form, to understand the energy which is nirguna. And I can't say I think, I am very sure that when one goes to Kailash Mansarovar, that person who is healthily spiritually inclined will feel the energy. You just imagine while we were there, and Swamiji would always say that do your japa, do it more, because at that altitude it's not easy to even breathe properly because oxygen is less. But still, Swamiji would tell us to do that or perform. They would perform puja and we would repeat there also on the banks of Manasarovar. Uska bhi impact hua na hamare pe. So it was a beautiful confluence and coming together of the Saguna form of Mahadev, which we respected and we recognized through the pujas and the chantings and the Rudraksh. But the Nirguna also, we appreciated that. We felt.
You all felt it.
Yeah. The electric and the magnetic fields are at a different level of oscillation in that area. But you got to go there and feel it. I'm planning to go with a group. I do my spiritual retreats at Rishikesh. I'm doing one in April. But I'm planning to go or take a group and go along with them to Kailash Mansarovar in 2027 to rekindle and re-strengthen my spiritual roots, if I may say so.
I could say that it got you closer to the Shiva Tattva beyond the ideal. So you could see it, but now you felt it. So you've taken a step closer to him.
Correct.
Somewhere.
Absolutely.
Through this trip.
Absolutely.
And did you meet any interesting people on this trip?
I did meet a couple of them I can talk about. There was one entity, a sannyasi, while we were traversing and circumventing the Kailash Parvat. We took a halt. We have to take a few halts in between because you can't just, it's not easy to continuously walk and trek. We saw this sannyasi just walking across, like where we were standing to take the halt. That entity, I know the name, but I will only say that the last name is Giri. They walked towards our Guru. They exchanged some words. And then, to my shock, I got to know that it was that entity's 98th parikrama of Kailash. 98th.
Oh my God.
98. Yeah. Along with him, my Guru went to the base of the Kailash Parvat, which is not, in 2001, it wasn't part of the plan. We were going to do the
Parikrama.
But Vikas Giri, that's the name. Along with Swamiji went to the base. Swamiji touched the Kailash and were blessed with an Atmalinga, an actual prasad from Kailash, which they brought and offered at their Guru's feet. Swami Ishwaranand Giri Maharaj from Mount Abu. Now they've taken Samadhi. I'm sharing this because all these things that happened there were completely unexpected and beyond supernatural. There was one instance where, and this is not with others, I was there at the banks of Manasarovar. It was almost twilight and I could see lights. Not too high above the Manasarovar. They were not like light bulbs shining somewhere, because there was nothing like that.
Light.
It was not too late for me. A little later, I was told that not only entities in human bodies, but other entities from other realms, energies from other realms also prostrate to Manasarovar. And they take dips in the Manasarovar. वो स्नान करते हैं, but they don't have to come in a physical form like the human form. That was another. And when you see, it's interesting. When you see, you've seen it, but it's for you to experience it yourself.
Because we've heard stories, right? Like people say there are aliens, there are supernatural entities, as you said, that reside on Mount Kailash.
Aliens are everywhere. That's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Aliens are everywhere. People call some of these aliens bhoot, spirits. They're words created by human beings, but there are energies. Again, that's an English word, but I'm talking about there are these things which have what we call life, and they may not necessarily be humans, but they are there, and it's for you to go and say hello to them.
Okay, so when you're talking about your Mount Kailash trip, you spoke about your Guru. And I think right from the beginning, you've been talking about your Guru and how he has changed your life. Why is having a Guru so important in your spiritual journey?
Very critically important question, especially for our viewers. Why is a Guru needed? I won't make this too elaborate because the answer is simple. When you want to learn an activity which you're not aware of, you still learn. Okay? It'll take you, say, 7-8 years to reach a point where you can say, okay, I've learned it. When you have a guru is somebody who dispels ignorance and infuses wisdom. So in your case, for example, you're learning Kathak dance. You don't have a guru. You're just learning, trying to see, how will you do that? Still, let's assume that you do. It will take you 7 years, for example. But when you have a guru, with the right kind of training, right kind of guidance, you may learn the same in maybe a year. That is why a guru is needed. A guru is, in the normal terms, is a mentor, is a teacher.
Yeah.
But guru as such is he or she who takes you away from darkness. Your darkness is not literal. It's not sub lights off, not that way. Not physical. It's the darkness of the mind.
Mind, yeah.
For me, in my case, Swami Sadyojata Shankarashram is my guru, my beloved guru, because they have made me understand the specificities of the correct way of spiritual practices. Guidance, spiritual guidance, which then made me understand how I can function more effectively in my professional pursuits.
Yeah.
At the core, spiritual awakening and guidance came from my guru, Swami Sadyojata Shankarashram. I'm not the only one. There are so many others. The guru is needed because he or she will show you what to do and what not to do, and why to do this and why not to do that. Plus, you get feedback. You do this, it's okay, but do you know what? You could have done this in a little bit better way. So, for example, when you're doing your japa, how you sit, how your spinal cord should be. Or when you're doing a pranayam, why is it important, and how will that help you in the way you function even at your office? Your sitting style, not style, the sitting posture.
Yeah.
Where will you get this or these inputs? For me, I got it from my guru. Even the way communication should happen, I learned it from my guru. One is, they either would talk to me and tell me. Most often than not, I would observe. Listening. People listen. But there are some who listen with a pen and pad so that they don't forget.
Yeah.
I've seen some senior people who come for a meeting. The meeting goes on for 45 minutes. They listen and they go. Then they have some vada pav or some samosas and go. How much have they grasped? While the meeting was going on, they grasped everything. But when it was over and they left the cabin or the meeting room, 20%, 10% was the leftover. Baki sab evaporate ho gaya because they've not noted it down. And memory can be very deceptive. So I saw my guru listening to the pravachan of their guru. I was also there, making notes. And I was sitting there listening to their guru speaking just like that. That was a turning point when I realized passive listening is what I was doing, and what they were doing was active listening. So I've learned so much from my guru, and that is why guru is needed.
Someone who you can actually see and learn. Absolutely. And in person.
A very demonstrative type of teacher or a mentor. From a spiritual perspective, that entity is known as a guru.
But Mayur, I have this question, being somebody who has started my spiritual journey, I can say. There are so many, and I'm sure a lot of viewers, a lot of young people are getting into spirituality.
True.
And which is a very nice thing.
Absolutely.
Because pehle aisa tha that spirituality is for the older people, jab tum आफ्टर 45 रिटायरमेंट ले रहे हो, 50 के बाद अभी कुछ नहीं है तो तुम भगवान के पास जाओ, मंदिर में जाओ. But अभी it's changing. People are using spirituality to enhance their life, to enhance the quality of their life, for better relationships, for better careers. And we see a lot of gurus also that are actually there, out there, and which are teaching some phenomenal things. How does one know who is their guru, where they need to surrender?
Good point. Where they need to surrender, वो बहुत important होता है. Let me start by saying that the guru finds you if you are paripakwa and ripened to that level where the guru says, okay, you can become my, not shishya, but you can learn from me. At the core, the desire has to be there that I want a guru. If the intensity in the desire is not there, is just colloquial, मुझे भी चाहिए guru. Yeah, so lucky you have a guru. I also want. क्या वो chocolate है क्या? It has to come from within. There should be not literal tears, but that emotional aspect has to be there, that I really want a guru. Then the waves of the frequencies get activated, I believe, when you really feel that you need a guru. It just like your FM frequencies, these frequencies get emitted across and something picks up and फिर वो नाता बन जाता है.
So the guru finds you.
Yes, so I was blessed to be born in the community of the Chitrapur Saraswat Brahmin community, which was blessed with a Guru Parampara. And Swami Sadyojat Shankar Ashram is from that Parampara. Now I feel, Sneha, that I never made that choice that I want a guru. I was just born. It's a blessing. My soul must have done something good that it found itself, in the family where I have my parents and etc. And that's how I was blessed. You'll be surprised to know that there are some people in my own community who are not connected to my guru, but they're good people. So even if you're part of a similar tribe of people, it's very individualistic. My soul would have wanted to connect with my guru, and I always feel with my guru I have a relationship, a spiritual connection from not just this life, but at the core, the desire to the urge to want to have a guru should be very strong.
आपकी जो book है, Aghoris, which has been the national bestseller.
Yes, both part 1 and
part 2. Yes. And I've got my hands on the part 1.
Yes.
So मुझे बताइए कि why did you choose a topic like Aghoris? What intrigued you?
The answer to that question will be it'll be a 2-part answer. First part is the fact that I believe in past lives, previous lives. I believe in that. Why else would I get so pulled towards an Aghori Sadhu, who at that point of time I did not know was an Aghori Sadhu? That entity was a sadhu with bhasma all over his body.
ये कब था?
When I was 9 or 10 years old. So long time ago.
That's your first encounter.
First encounter. Saturday evening, my father would take me to the Hanuman Mandir, which was right across our apartment. Now that temple has been shifted because of road widening, etc. But tabhi it was just close by. So my father would always go there. And my lure or my temptation to go to the Hanuman temple at that age was the beautiful vigraha of Hanuman in the shendur colored, in that orange colored, and the prasad. The coconut pieces marinated in sugar. That was very interesting. So I would wait for jaldi se wo pratana ho jaye and then come out, because then the bhajji would give me prasad. But I know my dad has said only once, huh? Not every time. You can't keep going every time only for prasad. Because I tried twice, it happened. On one occasion, when I came out, while going inside, I didn't notice. When I came out, I was waiting for the prasad. I noticed this entity who was looking scary, but not to me. I was more excited and intrigued to know what this entity was or who it was. They had worn only an innerwear, langot, जो हम कहते हैं, and they had jata, but it was all like a matted hair and it had ash everywhere, bhasma.
They look very scary. I mean,
They do,
that's how-
and that. So I walked closer. You said scary. It was ulta for me. I was walking closer towards him. My father pulled me back and said, "What are you doing?" And then he said, "Let's go." And he pulled me and we walked. And I remember I asked my father, Dad, in my own little cute way, I asked him, "Who is he?" So my father said, either maybe a Naga or an Aghori sadhu. That was the first time I got to understand कि ऐसा कुछ होता है. Sadhu I had heard 9-10 years old, क्या पता है, साधु सुना था, साधु, ऋषि मुनि. ये अघोरी क्या है? Cut to many years later. I think that was embedded in me. So that's one part. Second part is there have been lives which a soul lives, and some part of it is stored in the subconscious. So when I was, living my life as a student, and then I worked and much later when I was conducting a training program, I met three people rather, they were my participants in a training program in Vikhroli. In the break, I was just chatting with them and stuff. And then one of them said that we are from Kashi. And my antenna went up because I had by then understood that Aghori sadhus Kashi mein hote hain at the cremation grounds. So I got more excited because I realized I can get some more information about them. And that happened. It was through them that I got to finally, I'm making that long story short, I got to go to Kashi, but not in Kashi, some other place close to Kashi, and spend more than enough time with two Aghori sadhus. That was the birth of the seed within me to write Aghori, an untold story, and Aghori, the untold story continues. And I've just finished writing Aghori part 3 called Aghori, Death and Beyond. But uska jo awakening tha was when I met the Aghori sadhus, and most at the core it was when I was 9 or 10 years old, and it was so long back I can't even recollect exactly how old I was, around that age but then that visual impacted me. And they do have they can cause fear in people because they have almost dark red eyes. जैसा हमारा white होता ना, उनका red होता है, almost dark red. Now that is because of what? There are some things, some rituals that they do. But my answer to your question is that all this meeting or seeing the Aghori at 9 or 10 years old, and then meeting them, spending time, asking questions, understanding who they are, it triggered in me the urge to write about them.
You spoke about Kashi. So
Yes.
very recently, I went to Varanasi.
Okay.
And I happened to go on the Manikarnika Ghat, and sort of gets you closer to death. I think when we are living our regular lives, we forget that death is something that is going to happen come what may. Like, that is the absolute truth. Death is the absolute truth. And we tend to forget it in all the maya, the illusion that this life creates. And that's when somebody told me about Aghoris, that they come here, especially at night, and they also sit on dead bodies to actually meditate.
Yes.
So they have a very unconventional way of devotion towards the Shiv energy.
Correct.
Why do they go to these unconventional methods? Why? And does that also lead?
So let me start off by saying that death is absolute. for for all practical purposes, you're right. But from my perspective, since you have invited me here, I want to offer my perspective based on a bit of research and study that I've done. What a caterpillar calls death is life to a butterfly. I hope you're thinking about what I'm saying is what you think is absolute death. It's not. It's only a transition of that soul from one body into another. It's a movement that keeps happening. Motion keeps happening. Aghori sadhus, according to me, based on, again, my own a little bit of research that I've done, they are like spiritual scientists. They have discovered and unearthed certain techniques which can enhance their spiritual progress and thereby reach a point where they get extremely close to Mahadev, or they merge with the energy of Mahadev.
Okay.
One of them is they believe in the tapping into the energies of those who have just passed on, especially those who are not at an old age.
Okay.
You mentioned about one of their techniques being they sit on the body of a dead person.
Yeah.
They do that after seeking permission of the family,
Okay.
because it's part of a ritual. It's a part of a technique. So they first need to get the permission. You can't just go and sit. They also, they also sit, or they prefer the body for a young person, unfortunately, who has passed on.
Okay.
Because when they sit on its body, through their hand motions and gestures, they communicate and extract the energy, the vibrations from that particular dead person, and utilize that for their own meditation.
Okay.
How they do that, they will never reveal. You have to be an Aghori and reach a point where then you will get to do this. But they do this. They've been known to also interact with what we think is a bhoot, but for them it's not. For them it's an entity that has left the body. They've been known to consume half burnt flesh of a dead person, which has been widely misrepresented, making people think that they are cannibals, which they are not. They consume it to again absorb certain samskaras of that person, of that entity, to again heighten their own spiritual progress. When an entity passes on, for the first 13 days, the spirit is said to hover around, which is why on the 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th days, apart from every day, but typically those last few days, there are important pujas that are done. Puja karte hain, right? 13th day, 12th day puja. It is, and unfortunately, when my father passed on, I did that. The priest was literally communicating with our ancestors, communicating with my dad's spirit, saying that it's time for you to now leave the spirit. So at that level, that also happens. So at the Aghori level, you imagine?
Yeah.
They also would be communicating.
Yes.
So I just believe that their ways are different. Their ways are obviously fearful. People may not understand. But I give a very different analogy. When you are walking or trekking through a jungle and you see deer, a herd of deer, you'll be like, wow, you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
The moment you go close to it, a little too close, they run away. Yeah. But imagine you go for another trek. And then while trekking, you come across an 18 feet long king cobra. And the moment it sees you and you see it, the first thing is you feel fear. You don't feel, when you see a deer, you don't fear. Of course, if you see a tiger, you will, right? So Aghoris are like those cobras. You will fear them because they are that way. They exude that kind of an attitude, that personality that don't disturb us. You want to watch us, do it from a distance. So if you watch a king cobra the way it is, it's beautiful, magnificent creature, but from a distance. The moment you go closer, it feels threatened.
Yeah.
It may attack you, or it may do its hissing, which itself can, make you run away. So with Aghoris, we have to give it respect. We have to give them the respect. And give the respect by maintaining a distance. In fact, I would say knowing the right things, the real aspects about the Aghori Sadhu, which I mentioned in the book, which is why I wrote the book. Making people, if people understand them as Shiva Bhakts and one of the most ardent, hardcore devotees of Mahadev, that itself will be a great service we will be doing to the Aghori Sadhus. Even at Junagadh in Gujarat, deep inside the jungles of Junagadh, there are tribes of Aghori Sadhus who also live there. I've known some person who's told me that they have, some of them, advanced Aghori Sadhus. I call them Mahaghoris. They've also known to do shape shifting so much. They can change their own mechanics of their body and look different. So I say, at the risk of sounding repetitive, but I've not said it here though, is where science ends, spirituality begins.
Yeah.
And it's true. Even before the scientists discovered the earth was not flat but round, it has been mentioned in our Puranas long time back. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's just the offbeat path. Like people are not known to it. That's why people get scared. It's the unknown.
It's for us offbeat. For them, it's normal.
It's the normal. Yeah. I think also during the Mahakumbh,
Yeah,
there were so many Aghoris. And I think
Lord, Naga Babas.
And they have, their age is like, say, 150 years plus, 200 years plus.
You know, there was one incident that happened when one reporter went a bit too close in terms of trying to report that he was thrown off by the Aghori Sadhu. Thrown off, not literally. He was told to get out of that tent. Because, see, when you try to, you take that Aghori for just a normal sadhu, a very casual approach, no respect. They will not just wait and say, don't do that. They will give you back. They're like those king cobras. So in Kumbh Mela also, we come across different entities, but keep a distance, observe, learn through our observations is what I say. But there are a lot of Aghoris and a lot of Naga Sadhus who go to the Kumbh Mela to take the dip in the holy Sangam.
Yes. What changed for you after you met, like for this book, when you must have started doing your research? As you said that you've met a lot of Aghoris. What changed for you in your normal life?
I would say that my normal life, which was, which had its spiritual core because of my guru.
Yeah.
But what changed for me was the unbelievable surprises I got from knowing them or from interacting with them. And it stayed and it's still with me. It's like when you watch something that is completely unexpected. For example, if you're walking, you're climbing a mountain and suddenly you see a huge spaceship, you are impacted, right? And you can't forget about it.
Yes.
When you come back, you'll tell the whole world.
Yeah.
That's exactly, which is why I wrote the book. I wanted to tell the whole world about the Aghori Sadhus. Because don't judge the book by its cover. का सबसे बड़ा उदाहरण है Aghori Sadhus. Don't judge them by the way they look. They are untamed. They are in their own zone of achieving, Shiva Prapti, merging with Mahadev. They're on their path. Let them be. Why should we go and intrude and disturb them? You want to know more about them, then go with the attitude of surrender. So what changed in me, Sneha, was my own way of looking at Aghoris. My respect for them changed and heightened tremendously. I'm so happy that a lot of readers of my book, they communicate with me and they tell me through Instagram or other social media networks that they kind of tell me that I never knew that Aghoris are like this. Thank you for opening my eyes.
Yeah.
There was one lady who called me messaged me from Rishikesh saying that I want to meet the Aghoris like you mentioned in the book. And I said, Baba, it's not that it's not a shop you're going to. You have to earn that. You have to practice your own meditation to reach a level where they will invite you. A calling, like you said.
Yeah.
We have to wait for that calling, but that happens only when we also mature ourselves spiritually.
Can they bless you with also gifts that you can sort of ask for, like say?
Yeah. So the first thing again is we should refrain from asking anything that's materialistic. In spirituality, the best is to ask for strength.
For strength, okay.
Because that will drive actions. Strength, clarity, goodness, humility. Basically, ask for blessings of values. I want a Mercedes car. I love that.
That's
I'm just saying that there are
Yeah.
people who will go to a temple, for example. मुझे एग्जाम में पास कर दो. वो भगवान है, वो क्या आपके एग्जाम में आएंगे आपको हेल्प करने के लिए? But ask for strength. I never asked for amazing paintings as an example. I honestly, even now I ask to my guru, I say, give me the strength to think clearly, think positively, think creatively. So I'll show you a painting which I did recently, and it's just to give you an idea. If you see this painting,
Yeah.
you see these saints out here, sadhus,
Is it
monks.
on the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I felt that the attitude of brightness, of looking like we were talking about, mast raho earlier, it came through this particular streak of gold or yellow.
Okay.
For me, this symbolizes bringing a spark in your life. Now, I never thought I could paint and do the writing, but the prayer for values and strength to try something, it led me to doing many things. I believe all of us, even on Mahashivaratri day, when we of course pray, na?
Yeah.
My aunt, no names, she'll go to a temple and pray for her son to get married. Now but it's not that after the prayer, then suddenly the marriage will happen, right? The strength, the clarity, give me the attitude to deal with difficult situations, for example.
Yes.
And it has to come from the boy, not from the mother. But I'm just saying this. I hope our viewers won't misunderstand me. I don't mean that we should not ask for that. We can. But at the core, we should ask for values.
Yeah.
Blessings of goodness.
That's a very beautiful thing, because I think a lot of people, they don't know even what to ask
Correct.
for, because इतना ही पता है कि ये मांग सकते हैं, but maybe the values is going to enhance your life even more, and maybe you could get more in life if you ask for the right values.
I'll tell you how it works. If you were to go to a temple, Sneha, and you pray for a lot of mental peace and strength and willpower, the temple that you are in, and the deity could be of a goddess or Mahadev. The deity is physically there. You see that, but it has imbibed a lot of vibrations. It has got the energies. But when you ask for the blessings of influencing your mind to be stronger, to be at peace, the energies react.
Yeah.
But they may not react to materialistic things.
Yeah.
They're not going to help you to go to a showroom and get a car or sit with you when you're in a job interview.
Yeah.
Mr. Energy, what do I do now? It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
But they will infuse you, they'll influence you with the way you'll probably look at that interview and how it will heighten your own conviction about getting the job.
Yeah.
So I just feel that because it's happened to me. Whenever we've prayed or I have prayed, I've always prayed for things which will help me then to act upon in whatever I do. And I think at the core, Sneha, what I see in the Aghori Sadhus is they only ask for the blessings of Mahadev for them to do their techniques in the correct manner without getting distracted into other things. Which is why you'll never see an Aghori Sadhu giving a pravachan.
Yeah.
I mean, rarely.
And you don't encounter them also.
Exactly.
Why is that?
Because they're in their own world.
So they don't...
Like if you are studying for an IAS examination and you really want to become an IAS, even the slightest noise will disturb you.
Yeah.
They are like that.
So they'll cut off all distraction
Absolutely. Completely. So when they're in the cremation ground, they're at their utmost peace. Because they're completely focused on their rituals and their techniques. And they know that nobody's going to come and disturb them.
But why is the cremation ground
because
so
that
much
is,
importance?
Because that is where, for certain rituals, that those are places where they can accrue the best benefits.
Plug in, as you said. Yeah.
Plug in, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so coming to the part 3 for the viewers. And I would want a little bit of sneak peek, like a special thing for this podcast. What is the part 3 all about? A little bit.
Yeah, so Aghori part 3 is, so it's a trilogy, part 1, part 2, and part 3 is the conclusion.
Okay.
It's connected. So part 1 is where Subbu is sent by his guru to meet certain Aghori sadhus who know certain mantras which are to be brought by Subbu for his guru.
Yeah.
This is the first part. Second part is where he comes back and it's about how those mantras are finally embedded into my guru.
Okay.
And in the first part, it's not that Subbu learns by listening. They're literally embedded into his body and soul.
Okay.
So you'll have to read the book to feel that. Third part is, why was all this? Why was I sent? And why was the transference done? It's because there is a very evil entity that goes beyond earth.
Okay.
It's an energy which is hell-bent upon destroying and decimating the sadhus and all the spiritual people, monks across. And how these mantras will make the destruction of that entity possible.
With those mantras, basically.
So it's a story of how they're all used to... so they go on a mission to encounter, and whether are they successful in completely killing that negative entity or not is for the part
3. Looking forward. I think I'm going to quickly read part 1, part 2.
And it's a quick read. Thankfully, I mean, I've got people who've, and I'm happy about it, that they've finished the first part, as in part 1 of Aghori, in 1 day.
Yeah.
Or in 2 days. So I got my part 3 test read by 3 people.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know whether I'm on the right track as an author. Test reading, I feel, is important, but not by everybody. Otherwise, what's the point of publishing the book?
Yeah.
3 people. So there's one person who said to me, his name is Manas Vyas. He's a good friend of mine, but he's a very avid reader. And what I like about him is he's politely he'll call a spade a spade. So I want that. He said, Mayur, I couldn't even stop reading it when I had to go to the restroom.
So
it was so engaging.
Engaging, yeah.
Of course, he had a couple of inputs to share. There's another person called Yash Chedda who had his own beautiful feedback that I shared. Then Lakshmi Nayak, Lakshmi Kulkarni, sorry. She's another lady who read part 3, and overall the feedback was you can go ahead, with part 3. So yeah, it's I've just sent the draft to Penguin, and it should happen soon.
I think it goes without saying, like part 1 and part 2 have been a hit.
They have. I was surprised when I went. I was walking, to the airport. I was walking towards my whatever that area from where they fly, and I saw a bookstore, Booksetra. I didn't know there was a bookstore like that, and I walked in and just asked, "Is Aghori there?" So they took me and said, "Aghori here," and told them I'm the author. So it was very cute, and it's written there on the book, bestseller.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Wow, not bad, yeah." For a person who used to almost flunk in English in school, and the same school, and it's a good, amazing school, Bombay Scottish. And the same school has got my one of my first books, Adventures of Purna, in their library. Okay. So it's poetic justice, for me.
No, it's beautiful because people have a lot of misconceptions about Aghoris.
Sure.
And it's like something that's a mystery and people want to know about them.
But why I wrote about Aghoris is a question to which I think I did answer. But when I look back, it was not mechanical. Like, one day I said, thinking, abhi aaj kaun sa likhna hai pustak kiske baare mein? It didn't happen. It just happened. Just happened. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mayur, for actually coming down and doing this with me. It's thrown light on so many new aspects, and I think पार्ट 2 होना चाहिए इस पॉडकास्ट का, बिकॉज अभी इसमें से और क्वेश्चंस निकलेंगे. काफ़ी कुछ चीज़ें आपने हाईलाइट की, especially about what people can do on Mahashivaratri, about Mount Kailash, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited to even put that on their bucket list somewhere if they are there on the spiritual journey.
Even if they want to connect or ask me any more questions, I am on Instagram as well, at the rate Mayur Kalbag. You can, and I say that because many people have questions, and I'm sure the podcast will probably awaken more questions.
Yes.
That way. Yeah. And all this is happening only through my Guru, Swami Sadhyo Jata Shankarashram, and their blessings. Because otherwise, and going with them to Kailash Mansarovar.
Yes.
So, and thank you for having me here as well.
अभी भी मेरे दिमाग में बहुत सारे questions हैं, and I'm sure you guys have questions too. Please leave them in the comments below, and do not forget to share this episode with your friends and family, because this is your chance to make a difference in their life. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Till then, keep rising above things that are holding you back, embrace growth, and do not forget, I roar you.